Hello, I'm PamelaTopjian, and I am a board certified hypnotherapist for those of you that don't know. And usually in the end of my videos or down in the description, I will ask people to send me requests or suggestions for a focus or a topic that they would like me to talk on uh, in a video. So somebody had asked, what is hypnotherapy? Can you talk about hypnotherapy? And I was just like, yeah. And I should have done this long ago, I guess. I'm just kind of surprised at myself that I haven't already done a video talking solely on hypnotherapy. So, hypnotherapy is really using hypnosis, which hypnosis is known as a trance state, an altered state of consciousness. Um, it's a way to directly bring your subconscious mind into the forefront rather than the conscious mind up front. So, it's using hypnosis in a therapeutic model. So that's what hypnotherapy is. And it's very different than stage hypnosis. It's not at all magic. It's not at all any kind of mind control. It's not related to any type of religion or, any kind of, I'm going to say like anti-religious group or anything. Some people kind of have the idea that it's something associated with the occult or witchcraft or something, and it's nothing like that at all. Um, but so hypnotherapy is really a way that we the facilitators guide our clients into an altered state of consciousness, into a state of hypnosis by relaxing their physical body and then addressing the subconscious mind to focus more deeply and to help change some of those deep rooted, um, you know, self-sabotaging ideas and beliefs that you might have about yourself and what you can and can't do and can or cannot achieve and all of that. So, um, the it's very much like a dream state or a state just before you wake up or a state just before you fall asleep. And in that state, your subconscious mind is not as, it's more open. So it's not as being overridden by the conscious mind. All that mind chatter that goes on in there and all the stimuli that we're taking in from the outside world is the conscious mind. So the subconscious mind is everything below the surface. And that's where we're going with hypnotherapy. And with hypnotherapy, it's all guided towards your well-being, whether it's quitting smoking or losing weight, which are kind of the really common and typical reasons that a lot of people seek out a hypnotherapist, or what a lot of people have heard that hypnotherapy is really for. But it can also go to just, spiritual development, spiritual awakening. It can help you just reach any goals. It can help you with self-discovery. It can help you to gain more confidence, to, finally do some of those things that you've been dreaming of doing. It can also, help you with any, we talk about smoking and losing weight. Those are unhealthy habits, and it can help with any kind of unhealthy habits. And it doesn't even have to be specific. You can want to overall improve your life and just have a more healthy lifestyle. And hypnotherapy can definitely help with that. So it feels very much like a guided meditation, but it's more deeper and it's more focused. So a lot of my guided meditations and guided visualizations on this channel, some of them are very similar to what I do in my practice with my clients. A lot of them are things that I don't do with them. Um, with the when you are with a hypnotherapist, we are not doing anything to you or for you. We are the facilitator guiding you to your subconscious mind. So, a little bit of the backstory, the history. So it got its name from, Hypnos, the Greek goddess, the Greek god of sleep, Hypnos. And I'd have to look it up. I didn't really look into anything. I'm just sort of on here babbling about hypnotherapy. But I believe that the god of sleep, Hypnos, would, be able to touch people and put them into a deep state of sleep, almost like what stage hypnosis looks like. So, um, I think that's where it got its name. And there are several techniques for hypnosis and for hypnotherapy. And one of them is touching. And that's not one that I do. I don't touch people. And if all of my, clients are remote or through Zoom or even just the phone. Um, but there's also, we also think of the pendulum, the stopwatch, way of doing hypnosis. And some people still do that. And, you think of EMDR therapy, the eye movement, EMDR, eye movement desensitization, and reprocessing, I think is what it is. So that eye movement, like REM sleep, can have a hypnotic effect on somebody. So some people do still use that, and some people will use conversational hypnosis. So there's all different types of techniques and different types of methods, even within hypnotherapy. So Milton Erickson, I believe, is known as the father of hypnotherapy, and he is a psychiatrist that helped bring the practice of hypnotherapy into to being more accepted in the medical field and the mental health field. Um, so he would do more of the sort of conversational type of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, or talking to people, into a state of an altered state of consciousness without them realizing it. And it's not a trick. Like, people would come to him for therapy, and he would have this style of conversation to talk people into a state of hypnosis to where they were still able to access their subconscious mind and quiet that conscious mind to be able to make real changes, and to go in that really deep, deep rooted issues, that are deep in there. You might not even know where they came from. I use the analogy sometimes of like a dandelion root, because if you know about a dandelion root, it's got a very thick core and then all these little things on the outside, shoots that come out, but it goes very deep. And a lot of times when you are digging up dandelions, if you don't get the whole thing, it'll all just come back up again. So that's the whole idea of, hypnotherapy, is getting deep into those roots. And those offshoots, a lot of times, are the things that, people are, have these unhealthy habits that they have because of whatever that core issue is. And people will come to a hypnotherapist or any kind of therapist, really, because of one of those offshoots, because of one of those symptoms that they're having. And if you can go through hypnotherapy, and if you can get to that core root of what's really going on that's causing all these other unhealthy behaviors, or ways of thinking, or, being an obstacle from you, living your best life or reaching your goals, then we can get to it. And all those other side symptoms kind of things, will go away as well once you get that major deep root out of there. So that's an analogy that I really like. So somebody going even further back, there's, well, I don't know if he's further back or not now that I say it, but Edgar Cayce is also another person to to research. He was known as the sleeping prophet, and he would go into a state of hypnosis, and people would come to him for like readings. And I don't think they called it hypnosis then, but people would come to him with issues, and he would go into a state of hypnosis, and he would come back with the answers for them. Fascinating, fascinating. So usually they would come to him with health issues, and he would go into the state of consciousness, this deep state of consciousness, and he would tell them what they needed to do, what life changes they needed, and give them advice and, even diet changes, very holistic type of advice, whether they need more sunshine in their life, they need to, connect with whatever, a family member, somebody. They need more vitamin C in their life, they need more protein in their life, whatever it is. Very holistic, they need more quiet time. And this is just very, 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 very basic, and just very basic information on him. And same with Milton Erickson, just touching on the subject of what these gentlemen have done for mental health and to understand consciousness. So speaking of understanding consciousness, so hypnotherapy is really the mind, is working with the mind, with the subconscious mind. And us as humans, we don't know very much about what we know about the universe is very little compared to what's out there. What we know about the ocean and the bottom of the ocean, what we know about the ocean overall is very minimal and basic compared to what's out there. And it's the same with the human mind. It's the same with the human mind. And that's fascinating and amazing to me. We might know how to get in there, but we don't understand it so well. We don't really understand what's happening. So the Monroe Institute, there was Robert Monroe. He was born in 1915, and in 1971 was the start of the Monroe Institute. And they are, their main focus is the study of consciousness, the study of human consciousness. So they really have these deep meditations, and I don't know if they called it hypnotherapy or hypnosis at all, but they have these very deep meditations that they have developed over time. And and I don't want to scare anybody, but even the CIA have looked into them and have talked about the meditations that the Monroe Institute offers, and they have a program for, it's called HemiSync, HEMISYNC, HemiSync. So it's the hemispheres of the brain, syncing them together. And in one of, or, sometimes in hypnotherapy, I will say, or I will ask the subconscious mind to assist the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere of the brain to balance, and to continue to work on balancing these hemispheres throughout the rest of the days and the nights to follow. So I would say that's similar to what the Monroe Institute is trying to do, except on a much deeper level. So they're trying to sync them up, which is not the same really as balancing, is it? But their whole idea is for not just altered states of consciousness, but they've got these levels. So it's a whole program, and they've got these levels that you go through in these deep meditations, and you do these meditations and you work up your levels. And I think that the I think that the main goal, once you get to the top level, is all about is all about um, out of body experiences. And this is why the CIA was looking into this as well, is because, or studied with the Monroe Institute, because they, there's a whole thing with the CIA, the government, wanting to train people to remote view, seeing things that are far away that you're not there, being able to see what's going on, somewhere else, in a sort of a sleep state. So, yeah, so the altered state of consciousness is like a sleep state. It's like a dream state. So this is what I tell my clients too, that it's very much like a dream state. It's very much like the time just before you go to sleep and the time just before you wake. And just like when you're very engrossed in a book, or when you are in a theater and you're just really focused on that movie and you come out and you feel like you're in a different world. Um, so that's kind of how it feels when you get into that very deep state of consciousness. And it's a natural state of consciousness. So, like I said, you can be really engrossed in a book and you're reading this book and hours go by and you didn't even realize it. The same with watching a movie or binge watching something on Netflix sometimes, right? Or even, just laying on the couch on a weekend, if you're somebody that's working 9 to 5 or whatever, working away outside from home, long hours and that, and on the weekend you're just relaxing and you're just almost like dozing in and out, and you're either watching something on TV or you're just kind of relaxing, but you can get into a very deep, a deep state of consciousness even without sleeping. And in that state of consciousness, you are able to quiet that chatter, and not focus on the stimuli around you and what's going on in the room around you. And in this state of consciousness, you can reach your subconscious mind and, get into those areas that you need to, if you're whatever you're trying to improve or work on or reach your goals. That's what we do. So if there's any questions, because I've just rambled, I just kind of rambled here, and I wanted to just give a very basic overview about hypnotherapy. So if there's any questions, please put them below and I will do my best to answer them. And I will also put those names, because if you're very interested in hypnotherapy, you need to know about Edgar Cayce, and you definitely need to know about Milton Ericson. The Monroe Institute is just kind of a fascination of my own. It's not necessarily something that everybody learns in their hypnotherapy training, but to me it seems very similar. Some of the hemisync, types of the program that they have seems very similar to me to hypnotherapy. So I hope that I've answered the question, and I just want to see if there's anything else, yeah, I think that I've kind of overdone it maybe. But please, as always, if there's anything that you want me to discuss on here, or that you would like me to focus on for even a guided visualization, or even just to talk about, please let me know. I'll be happy to do it.